Hello, Joel A. Erickson, Colts insider for the Indy Star, here with Nathan Brown. We are here at Arrowhead Stadium. The Colts lose today, 23-20. They have a 20-9 lead. They give it up. This is the first time this season that it feels like the offense doesn't have a whole lot of positives going.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier this is a game where they scored 20 points, and had they not gotten an interception there in the first quarter by Laiatu Latu, get down right around the 2-yard line, they probably have even less points on the board. It was a team that looked very different from the one that we saw in the first half, the second half, and overtime. 4 straight 3-and-outs to end this one. Chiefs looked very different as well in the fourth quarter and overtime. A team that had maybe been there a little bit versus a team that's still working on trying to get that experience.
Yeah, I think especially with some of the lack of runs, you want to keep the clock moving a little bit there. But I also think one of the other things that sticks out to me is they did not run it very well today. Outside of a 27-yard run, I think off the top of my head, I think Jonathan Taylor is somewhere in the 39-yard range on 15 carries. They did not get the run going very well at all.
They tried to spring it around the outside for most of those runs. You're trying to run away from Chris Jones. They just didn't really have a whole lot of success there, which is surprising for Jonathan because he's got that speed. We've seen him spring so many around the outside, and you're waiting for him to get one of those big runs. Maybe not an 80-yarder that goes for a touchdown, but a 40 or 50-yard game or even just drive-altering run there, and we didn't have those. And so then I almost wonder a little bit if Shane Steichen saw that and felt like they needed to rely on the pass game in those late game situations to try to get those first downs. It just was not happening for him again and again.
Steichen also does not like to run in second and long situations. Nobody in the NFL does. It's somewhere around 85% in terms of throwing it in that situation. The thing is, though, in this game, like I said, some of the incompletions. Also, Daniel Jones doesn't take a sack today. He doesn't have a turnover, so not the stuff we were worried about before. But it did feel like pressure, to me, was getting to him in the second half, and he threw off his back foot a little bit more than I'd like to see him do. Jones is 3 games in a row now coming out of it feeling like there's maybe some stuff Jones has to work on. There is a concern there going forward.
And these are great defenses that this team has played to, and they're only going to get better. This team now faces what I think we would probably say is the best defense in the league, headed back home to face the Houston Texans, a big divisional game. They have 4 of those now to end the season. It's not going to get easier from here. From a record standpoint, the Kansas City Chiefs were the worst team that the Colts were going to play over this final stretch. I don't know if you would say that in reality team-wise, but they've got tough games against the Seattle Seahawks, 2 against the Texans, 2 against the Jaguars. It's going to be really tough to keep this run going that they had to start the year, and we'll see if this team has the ability to respond.
Colts are 8-3 now. Ultimately, they still lead the AFC South, but this is the first time this season that you really feel a dip. Two losses in the last 3 games. Some issues on offense. The Colts have to find a way to get out of this. For the Indy Star, I'm Joel A. Erickson. This is Nate Atkins.
But in a game like this, you have 2 double-digit leads 2 different times. You feel like you left some points on the field maybe, and then this thing never should have gone to OT.
For sure. We had some plays where there chances to make plays, score points, drives that, we got 3, we could have got 7. So yeah, we'll look at the film and see. But I know we left some points out there. We definitely left that game out there.
You know that team's never going to quit, but you felt like all you needed was one more punch, and that could have been the knockout blow. Does that just, you're like, man, we're like 1 play away from putting this thing out of reach?
For sure.
Did you guys see or feel anything different in the second half? I think you guys ended the game with 4 3-and-outs. It seemed like it was just tough to get some crucial plays on maybe first down to get you guys into positive positions to be in a better position to execute on third down maybe.
Yeah, I felt like we were doing a decent job, like staying ahead of the chains. Just we got to third down and just weren't able to execute there on those third downs. I don't think we were ever really, maybe the backed up drive we might have been a 3rd and long, but the rest of them I felt like we had like a 3rd and manageable. And we just got to execute on that. That's what the game comes down to, is just third downs and scoring in the red zone. And we didn't do a good enough job on either of those today.
Alec, do you feel that throughout the game, just how stagnant it got? Like, did it feel like that? Or just what are you guys telling each other when it isn't going your way like it has so often this year?
Yeah, we could tell we weren't. Like, you go out there, you get 3 and out. Like, that's not a good feeling for the offense. You know that's not the objective, right? So, especially like receiver-wise, right? We're sitting there talking like we know we got to make a play, we got to make something shake, and we just couldn't get anything going in that second half.
Takeaway from the day.
Credit to the Chiefs. champion level team. It was a battle to the end, even to OT. They made the plays that they needed to win. Learning lesson for us, we got to learn how to win these type of games. Our learning curve can't be long. I feel like we didn't play up to the standard that we wanted to play at, but, credit to them. They've been in that type of situation. They made the plays that they had to make, and we got to regroup next week at home.
I know every game's frustrating, but when you lose a game, it felt like you guys were controlling. Does that add to it?
Yeah, I feel like, when you're just playing against a team like that, like I said, that's been in this type of situation in their environment, knowing the different things that come with that, you got to beat them twice. You got to keep playing, and like I said, credit to them. They made championship level plays, and we got to be better if we're going to be the type of team we want to be this year.
You said that there's more you guys wanted out of this. Are there specific plays that you look to that you felt like really turned the tide there, at least on the defensive side?
Yeah, look, obviously it's a full game. It's never going to come down to one play. I got to watch the film, honestly, just to get back to the full thing. Obviously, everything's still raw, but, it's those battle winners. You want to win those big plays. First I'm going to start with myself and how I could be better and, go from there. You
guys had some really long time spent on the field as a defense in the fourth quarter. Was there a moment that you ever felt like that unit looked or felt winded, or just the time that you guys spent out there battling with them became a difficulty at all?
Hell no, you better not off a bye. That's the type of moments you live for. Obviously, you're up 2 scores in the fourth quarter against a Hall of Fame level coach, Hall of Fame level players. Listen, you got to win those type of battles. We've been in those type of scenarios at different points in this season, knowing that, listen, we got to get a stop, but also bleed some clock too as a defense. So, there's nowhere else you'd rather be, playing, high-level football against a great opponent on the road in a great environment. So we just got to make the plays that we need to make to win the game.
So you got to ask you, boss, what's going to be the big takeaway for you?
Like for me personally?
Or just as a team?
Really just go back to these meetings tomorrow, fix what we need to fix, defense, offense, special teams. But I thought special teams was going crazy today. So props to special teams, but we got to go in, correct what we can correct, so that we don't take a loss on them. We can just keep riding out closely.
Is this one of those when you are on the flight home, you start thinking, what if? Just because you guys were controlling the game, it felt like.
Yeah, it definitely does hurt, but I feel like at this point, for us to, succeed into the rest of the games is to not put this behind us right now, but, fix what we have to fix. It is what it is at the end of the day, and on to Houston.
This Houston game, how does the sense of urgency increase now, knowing the divisional matchups ahead?
It definitely does, especially after this game and knowing that, we got, so many, contenders down the road. First of all, every game is an important game like the last because we're playing it. So, just got to correct what we got to correct from today and take it into this next week and beat Houston.
One guy who had a touchdown today, Drew Ogletree. We know what happened in that Lions game last year. How nice was it just to see him find the end zone again?
I love that for my bro, because I love Tree. So when I seen him, and it was a crazy 2-tap too. So when I seen him catch that ball, we were all lit on the sideline for him. So that was dope.
And they were lit for you when you got that interception. Did you ever think when you started the season you'd have 3 picks by 11 games into this thing?
Honestly, when we got the defense and we were studying it, it was definitely a possibility for any of us to come up with the picks, but it's a blessing for sure. But we keep going and keep getting better.
What's a reference note?
It feels crazy. But right now, I just I want to take this all in, fix what I can fix, and go freaking beat Houston.
Feel good physically. I can definitely clean my technique up a little bit, but I was excited to be back out there back in Kansas City, so kind of a little nostalgic, but I had fun today.
Sure. To get that fumble recovery, was it just a nice little welcome back?
Yeah, nice little present, nice little gift. Hoping I would have got an interception out Pat Hall of Famer, but I did, so that was cool for sure.
This game today, you guys did such a good job defensively, holding them to field goals.
Right.
What's the big takeaway from this?
It just shows we're a real good defense and a real good team. And at the end of the day, we got to get over there and hump and beat the good teams. You know what I'm saying? In the league, they've been Super Bowl contenders for the past 7-8 years. So we got to kind of get over there. To get over there, hump to be a great team, we got to be the best teams. And I feel like we this close, but we're not there yet.
What's the next step?
Just winning and closing the game out. Either on defense or offense. We had opportunities to make plays. I know in overtime they threw a ball at me. I could have made that play, but I didn't. So I feel like that's the next step, just making those plays in those crunch time moments. Big time players make big time plays. So somebody got to step up to the plate and make the plays for us. I think that's the next step for us.
Was there a play in particular that you were referencing there that you felt like you were close to making and just didn't quite?
I think that Ward playing overtime. We caught that ball, and Rasheed Rice, I kind of stumbled. And I think it was 4th down on that play too. So those 2 plays definitely can play it a little bit better.
Any of those, the drives where you guys did hold them to field goals, I think most of them, if not all, were double-digit play drives. Maybe at times just tough to get off the field. Was there any one of those that you felt like, one that just kind of got away of a moment to get off the field and get the
I feel like all of them, every
Yeah.
3rd down, it's an opportunity to get off the field, and we was just letting them convert either 3rd downs or 4th downs. So, like I said, bro, we got to step up and make those plays in those moments, and we didn't. So, I mean, we're going to go back to the drawing board and, fix what we need to fix, and I think we'll be better the rest of the season. We needed a game like this, a hard-fought game, overtime game against, a Super Bowl contending team. I think we're a Super Bowl contending team, too, as well. So, we needed this type of game for sure.
Just how uncharacteristic was it, and how do you explain it?
Like you mentioned, uncharacteristic. So we have to be better, of course, as an offense. You got to be better at the point of attack. We got to win our one-on-one matchups. Got to get Daniel time. So it's accumulation of a lot of things. But like you said, uncharacteristic. So we definitely have to clean that up for sure.
What's the most frustrating part about a loss like this?
Just the loss. You want to win. It doesn't even matter about how a part of the loss is. It's a loss.
What did the Chiefs do a good job against you in the run game for the most part today?
Well, definitely they were very disciplined for sure. I will say that.
Did you? You got a little pass heavy at the end. I know you always want the ball, but do you think there were some opportunities for you at the end, or what do you think?
There probably could have been some opportunities, but like I said, we have to give Daniel time. We got to be in our right spots for Daniel. We have to protect well. So it's accumulation of a lot of things that it goes together as an offense that we have to execute. Whatever it's called, we have to execute. We have to make the plays go. You
guys were trying to get outside on a lot of your early runs. Didn't really amount to much. You did have some success maybe between the tackles. What happened there? Why do you think that was working versus going outside?
Definitely being able to be solid at our point of attack, and then you'll be able to get some of those runs like that.
JC, you mentioned the execution. What do you think, led to not having it the level that you all had most of this season?
Well, of course, I think I don't know if we had like 7 for 83 or something. I know we had, a few penalties. So, number one, if you shoot yourself in the foot, you're already behind the 8 ball. So that's something that we for sure have to clean up.
What was Shane's message to you guys in the locker room after this?
Well, definitely have to clean things up. We got to get not necessarily back to the drawing board, but we definitely have to evaluate this tape individually and collectively. But everything we want is still in front of us. But it's going to take us coming together each and every single Sunday and making it happen.
A lot of questions about Daniel Jones and the legitimacy of what he's doing. Why within this locker room are you guys still believers in what he can do?
Because we see him every day. And we know you guys just see Sunday, and ultimately Sunday is what matters. But we see the work that he puts in each and every single day. So it's not like this is just happening out of nowhere. We know why it's happening.
A second half like that, how much of that do you feel like things that you guys have to clean up versus things that they just did super well in defense?
It's a accumulation of both. Like I said, very disciplined, very well-coached team. I think I mentioned this all week. But that's when it comes to alignment, assignment, and technique, winning those one-on-one matchups.
JT, we know you're very selfless and it's worked out very well for you this season. But are there moments in the second half where you're like, I need the ball? Or do you have conversation like that with your play caller, with Shane, with the offense?
Like you said, I have confidence. And at the end of the day, we have to make the plays go. Receivers have to be in their right spots. O-line running backs, we have to give Daniel time. Daniel has to deliver the ball. It's accumulation of everything that goes into each play, and we trust Shane, so we have to make these plays happen.
You guys saw it. We got to execute better and get a better result than that. So.
You all had straight 3 and outs. What do you think, led to some of the stagnancy you saw in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to come out and there's a couple miscommunications, some things that I got to be better on, and we just didn't execute today at the level that we usually do.
What was most frustrating about that, I guess, just looking at it?
No, just the fact that they controlled the ball for most of the game and they did a good job. We put our defense out there a ton today, and our defense held strong. And I thought that they played great. And on offense, we got to pick it up.
We didn't play terrible, but we have to prevent them from even getting down there. Because as a defensive player, any points is negative. They could stack up 3 times, whatever. That adds up to a lot of points. So us being able to have that same mindset when we're in the red zone, let's not let them get in the end zone, having that same mindset on first, second, and third down, starting the drive. It shouldn't. Obviously, human nature is like nobody wants to get scored on. So you swell up when you get in the red zone, but we got to have that same exact mindset on 1st and 10 after a touchback or after a kick return. So
I think you gotta be on it, and me personally, I think you gotta be accurate. Like we talked about, they're bringing pressure and trying to heat you up, and sometimes it happens a little quicker than what you expect. You still gotta be accurate, find a way to make the play work, and I gotta do a better job of that.
What makes them tough as a defense? It's just the talent on the outside with their corners.
Corners are good, yeah. I think corners are good, played well today. I think, obviously they got a pass rush and guys inside who can make a lot of plays, and I think their scheme's really good.
What kind of frustration sets in after, you don't get a first down, I don't think, after the third quarter? A lot of 3 and outs there.
Yeah, frustrated for sure. Frustrated, but you try to stay into what's next and kind of what's coming up and how you prepare for that. So yeah, I don't think anyone got out of the game or out of the moment or let that affect us going forward.
One, he ran to our sidelines. That was a 3rd and 1, and it was a first down. He got the first down and got out of bounds.
What did you think was out of sync offensively? Because we've seen your offense long enough to see what it looks like, and that's not what it typically looks like.
Yeah, I think being efficient on 1st and 10. I thought at times we did that a little bit. We didn't do it enough in the second half. It wasn't good enough, and it starts with myself. I think we got to be better in all phases: run and pass, moving the football.
With the exception of that one run that kept JT pretty much contained, were they doing anything unexpected, or what did you see there with his struggles?
I don't know. I think we had some backer run-throughs is what it looked like on a few of those. We got to go back and look at those and get those cleaned up, and that starts with me.
Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but does it feel imbalanced at all there late when you have so many passes versus runs?
I don't know. I felt there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to get called that I felt good about in the pass game, and we just weren't efficient doing it, and it starts with me.
The penalties, you had some, I don't know what the number was, but there were some huge ones
today.
It
was 11 for 83. It wasn't good enough. We got to get those cleaned up. Those are the self-inflicted wounds, that we can't have, and we got to get them cleaned up.